Welcome to Let's Master English, the podcast that helps you build confidence on your language journey. In today's episode, your host Sarah tackles one of the biggest questions for any learner. Why do some people become fluent while others give up? If you've ever felt stuck or lost motivation, this episode is for you. Get ready to discover the secrets that separate successful learners from the rest. And now, here's your host, Sarah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Master English, the podcast designed to help you improve your English in a simple and enjoyable way. It's your host, Sarah here. I hope you're having a fantastic week and are feeling ready to learn. Today, we are going to talk about a very important and very big question. It's a question I hear from students all the time. The question is this: what makes some people become fluent in a language while other people struggle and eventually give up? Have you ever felt this way? Maybe you have a friend who started learning English at the same time as you, and now they speak with confidence. Or maybe you see people online who seem to learn languages so easily, and you think, why isn't that me? What am I doing wrong? If you have ever had these thoughts, I want you to know that you are not alone. This is a very common feeling. Learning a language is a long journey, and it has ups and downs. But here is the good news. Becoming a confident, fluent English speaker has very little to do with natural talent. It's not magic. Fluent speakers are not superheroes. They simply have different habits, a different way of thinking, and different strategies. And today, I'm going to share those secrets with you. We will look at the reasons people quit, and then we will explore the powerful habits and mindsets of people who succeed. I'll share stories from learners around the world, and I'll give you practical tips and tricks that you can start using today. So, get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of tea and a notebook, because this episode could change the way you think about learning English forever. Are you ready? Let's begin. Part 1. Why do people give up? Understanding the obstacles. Before we talk about success, we need to understand failure. Why do so many people stop learning a language? If we can understand the problems, we can find the solutions. In my experience, there are 4 main reasons why learners give up. Let's look at them one by one. Reason 1. Unrealistic expectations. This is maybe the biggest reason of all. We live in a world that wants everything fast. We want fast food, fast internet, and fast results. So when we start learning English, we often think we should be fluent in 3 months or 6 months. We see advertisements online that say, become fluent in 30 days, and we believe them. But the truth is, learning a language takes time, a lot of time. Think about it like building a house. You can't build a strong, beautiful house in 1 week. You have to build the foundation first. Then you build the walls, then the roof. It's a slow process. If you expect to have a finished house in a week, you will be very disappointed, and you will probably give up. Language is the same. You need to build your foundation with vocabulary and basic grammar. Then you add more complex sentences. Then you practice speaking and listening until it feels natural. This process takes hundreds and even thousands of hours. When a learner expects to be fluent very quickly, they get frustrated. After a few months, they see they are not fluent yet, and they think, this is too hard. I'm not good at this. and then they stop. The problem was not their ability, the problem was their expectation. Reason 2, fear of making mistakes. Let me ask you a question. When you speak English, are you afraid of making a grammar mistake? Are you worried that people will laugh at you or think you are not smart? If you answered yes, you are not alone. This fear is called perfectionism, and it is a big enemy of language learning. Many people think they need to speak perfect English from the very beginning. They wait until they know the perfect sentence before they speak. But what happens? They wait, and they never speak at all. Think about a baby learning to walk. Does the baby stand up and walk perfectly the first time? Of course not. The baby falls down again and again. It makes hundreds of mistakes. But we don't call them mistakes, do we? We call it learning. Falling down is part of the process of learning to walk. Making mistakes in English is exactly the same. It is part of the learning process. Every mistake you make is a little signal that shows you what you need to practice more. It's information. It's not a reason to feel bad about yourself. People who become fluent are not people who don't make mistakes. They are people who are not afraid to make mistakes. They open their mouths, they try, they fail, they learn, and they try again. Reason 3, no clear why. Imagine you decide to run a marathon, which is a very long race, over 42 kilometers. You start running, but after 5 kilometers, you feel tired. Your legs hurt. It's hot outside. You think, why am I doing this? If you don't have a very good answer to that question, you will probably stop. Learning English is like a marathon. It's a long journey, and there will be days when you feel tired and unmotivated. On those difficult days, you need a strong reason to continue. This is your why. Many learners start with a very general reason, like, I want to learn English because it's useful. This is a good reason, but it's not very strong. It's not personal. When you feel tired, because it's useful, might not be enough to keep you going. Fluent speakers, on the other hand, usually have a very strong, personal, and emotional reason for learning English. Their why is clear and powerful. It's the fuel that keeps their engine running, even on the most difficult days. We will talk more about this and hear some examples in the next part of our show. Reason 4, the wrong methods. The final reason people give up is that they are bored. They think learning English means sitting at a desk for hours, reading a boring grammar book, and memorizing long lists of vocabulary. For most people, this is not fun. And if something is not fun, it is very difficult to do it every day for a long time. Maybe this was your experience in school. You had to learn English, but the classes were boring. You didn't feel connected to the language. This is a very common story. The problem is that many people think this is the only way to learn a language. But it's not. The most successful learners find ways to make learning English enjoyable. They connect it to their hobbies, their passions, and their interests. They don't just study English, they live a part of their life in English. If you love cooking, you can watch cooking shows in English. If you love football, you can read sports news in English. If you love video games, you can play them in English. When you use methods that you enjoy, learning stops feeling like a chore. It becomes a fun and interesting part of your day. People who find a way to enjoy the process are the ones who never quit. So, to summarize, the 4 main obstacles are unrealistic expectations, fear of mistakes, no clear why, and boring methods. Do any of these sound familiar to you? It's okay if they do. Recognizing the problem is the first step to solving it. Now let's move on to the exciting part. Let's talk about the people who succeed. What do they do differently? We've talked about why people give up. Now let's flip it around. What are the secrets of the people who keep going and achieve their goal of fluency? I call them secrets, but they are really just habits and mindsets that anyone can learn. Let's explore them together. Secret 1. They have a growth mindset. This is the most important secret of all. It's about what you believe about your own abilities. A psychologist named Carol Dweck discovered that people generally have one of 2 mindsets, a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Someone with a fixed mindset believes that intelligence and talent are things you are born with. You are either good at languages or you are bad at them. There's nothing you can do to change it. When someone with a fixed mindset makes a mistake, they think, "See, I'm just not good at English." They see the mistake as proof of their limited ability, and they give up easily. Now, someone with a growth mindset believes something very different. They believe that their brain is like a muscle. They believe that they can get smarter and better at things through hard work and practice. When someone with a growth mindset makes a mistake, they think, "Okay, this is an opportunity to learn. What can I do differently next time?" They see challenges as fun, and they know that effort is the key to success. All successful language learners have a growth mindset, even if they don't know the name for it. They believe in the power of practice. They don't say, "I am bad at English." They say, "I am not good at English yet." That small word, yet, makes all the difference in the world. So the first step is to believe that you can improve. Your brain is not fixed. You can learn and you can grow. Embrace this idea and it will change everything. Secret 2. They have a powerful why. Remember when we talked about needing a strong reason to run a marathon? Successful learners have found their marathon fuel. Their reason for learning English is deep, personal, and emotional. Let me share a few stories of real learners I have known. First, let's meet Marco from Italy. Marco's family is half Italian and half American. Every summer, his American cousins visit Italy. Marco loves his cousins, but he couldn't speak English well. During family dinners, everyone would be laughing at a joke, but Marco wouldn't understand. He felt lonely and disconnected from his own family. His why was not just to learn English. His why was, "I want to sit at the dinner table with my family, understand my cousin's jokes, and feel like I truly belong." This is a powerful, emotional reason. For Marco, every hour he studied was a step closer to connecting with the people he loved. Now let's talk about Hana from Japan. Hana is a huge fan of a British television show called Sherlock. She watched it with Japanese subtitles, but she always felt that something was missing. She wanted to understand the clever, fast English jokes directly from the actors. She wanted to feel the real emotion and humor of the show. Her why was, "I want to watch Sherlock without subtitles and laugh at the same moment as a native speaker." This reason was connected to her passion. studying English wasn't a chore for Hannah. It was a way to get closer to something she adored. She would watch scenes again and again, not as homework, but as a fan enjoying her favorite show. Finally, let me tell you about Javier from Mexico. Javier worked in a local company, but he wanted a better job to give his family a better life. He knew that the best companies in his city required English. His why was not simply for a better job. It was much deeper. It was, I want to give my children a great education and a comfortable life, and learning English is the best way for me to achieve that dream. Every time Javier felt tired, he would look at a photo of his children on his desk. They were his motivation. His love for his family was stronger than any difficulty he faced in learning English. Do you see the pattern? Marco's why was about connection. Hannah's was about passion. Javier's was about love and family. Their reasons were not small and general. They were big, specific, and full of emotion. So I want you to take a moment and think, what is your why? Don't just say, for a job or for travel. Go deeper. What kind of job? Where do you want to travel? Who do you want to talk to? Find an emotional reason that will keep you going when things get tough. Secret 3. They make it fun and personal. This connects back to our earlier point about boring methods. Fluent speakers are experts at making the learning process enjoyable. They find ways to integrate English into their daily lives and hobbies. They create their own English world. Let's look at what our friends from the stories did. Marco, who wanted to connect with his American cousins, started watching popular American comedy shows that his cousins loved. He was learning the kind of natural, informal English they used. It was fun for him, and it was also perfect for his goal. He wasn't just studying grammar, he was studying culture and humor. Hannah, the Sherlock fan, started a blog in simple English where she wrote about her theories for each episode. She found online forums with other fans from around the world and started writing comments and discussing the show in English. She was practicing her writing skills, but it didn't feel like practice. It felt like sharing her passion with a community. And Javier, who needed English for work, found a way to make his study practical. He started reading articles and listening to podcasts about his industry in English. He was not just learning general English, he was learning the specific vocabulary he needed for his career. This made him feel that his study time was very productive and directly connected to his goal. The secret here is to stop thinking about studying English and start thinking about doing things you love in English. Make a list of your hobbies. Do you like gardening, history, technology, fashion, or animals? I promise you, there are thousands of blogs, YouTube channels, podcasts, and books about your hobby in English. Find them. You will be so interested in the topic that you will forget you are learning. This is the best way to learn. Secret 4. They are consistent, not perfect. This is a simple secret, but it is incredibly powerful. Fluent speakers understand that a little bit every day is much better than a lot once a week. Imagine two people. Person A studies for 5 hours every Saturday, but does nothing else during the week. Person B studies for just 30 minutes every day from Monday to Sunday. After 1 month, who do you think will have better results? The answer is always person B. The brain learns best with regular, repeated exposure to new information. When you study every day, you are telling your brain, "This is important, remember this." When you only study once a week, you forget a lot of information between sessions. You spend half of your Saturday relearning what you forgot from the previous Saturday. Successful learners build a system or a habit. They don't rely on motivation alone because motivation comes and goes. Some days you will feel excited to learn, and other days you will feel tired. A habit is something you do even when you don't feel motivated. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't need to feel motivated to do it. You just do it because it's part of your daily routine. The key is to start small. Don't say, "I will study for 2 hours every day." That's too big, and you will probably fail. Start with something very small and easy, like 15 or 20 minutes a day. Listen to a podcast while you are making breakfast. Review 5 vocabulary words on the bus. Watch a 10-minute YouTube video before bed. Once you have built the habit of doing something small every day, you can slowly increase the time. Consistency is the magic ingredient that turns small efforts into big results over time. So, the 4 secrets are having a growth mindset, finding a powerful why, making it fun, and being consistent. These are the foundations for success. Now, let's get even more practical. What are some specific tips and tricks you can use? Okay, we understand the mindset and the habits. Now let's talk about action. Here are 4 practical tips that you can start using today to build your own path to fluency. Tip 1. Set SMART goals. We often have big, vague goals like, "I want to be fluent in English." This is a nice dream, but it's not a good goal because it's not clear. How do you know when you are fluent? How can you measure your progress? A much better way is to set SMART goals. SMART is an acronym. It stands for S, specific. Your goal must be clear and specific. M, measurable. You must be able to measure your success. A, achievable. Your goal must be realistic. Don't try to do too much too soon. R, relevant. Your goal must be important to you and connected to your why. T, time-bound. Your goal must have a deadline. Let's compare a bad goal with a SMART goal. A bad goal is, "I want to improve my vocabulary." It's not specific, measurable, or time-bound. A SMART goal is, "This month," time-bound, "I will learn 50 new words related to my hobby, cooking," specific and relevant, by using a flashcard app every day, achievable. "I will test myself every weekend to see if I remember them," measurable. Do you see the difference? This goal is clear. You know exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. When you achieve this small goal at the end of the month, you will feel a great sense of accomplishment. This feeling will motivate you to set another SMART goal for the next month. By breaking the big journey of fluency into many small, manageable steps, you make progress that you can actually see and feel. Tip 2. Create your English bubble. This is one of my favorite tips. An English bubble, or an immersion environment, is when you surround yourself with English as much as possible, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. You want to make English a normal part of your daily life. Here are some simple ways to create your bubble. Change the language on your phone. This is so easy. You use your phone every day. You will learn words like settings, messages, and call without even trying. Listen to music in English. Don't just listen. Find the lyrics online and read them. Try to understand what the song is about. You will learn new vocabulary and natural-sounding phrases. Change your social media. Follow actors, musicians, artists, or experts from English-speaking countries. If you like cooking, follow a chef from the UK. If you like technology, follow a tech reviewer from the US. Your social media feed will become an English lesson. Watch TV and movies in English. Start with subtitles in your own language. Then, when you feel more comfortable, change to English subtitles. English subtitles are an amazing tool. Finally, when you are ready for a challenge, try watching with no subtitles at all. Listen to podcasts. Well, you are already doing that one. Find podcasts about topics you are interested in. There are podcasts for everything: history, comedy, science, news, and of course, learning English. The goal of the English bubble is to get hours and hours of input. Input is listening and reading. The more you listen and read, the more your brain gets used to the sounds, rhythms, and patterns of the language. It's like magic happening in the background. Tip 3. The 5-minute rule. Remember we talked about consistency and how motivation can be a problem? The 5-minute rule is a fantastic trick to fight procrastination and build a consistent habit. It's very simple. On a day when you feel tired and you really don't want to study, tell yourself this: I will just study for 5 minutes. Anyone can do something for just 5 minutes, right? It's a very small commitment. So you sit down, you open your book or your app, and you start. Here is what usually happens. Once you have started, it's much easier to continue. After 5 minutes, you might think, okay, this is not so bad. I'll do another 5 minutes. And then maybe another 5. That 5 minutes can often turn into 15, 20, or even 30 minutes of study. But even if you only do 5 minutes, you have won. You have kept your habit alive. You have shown up and done something. You have maintained your consistency. This is much better than doing nothing. The 5-minute rule is a psychological trick to help you overcome the first and hardest step: starting. Tip 4. Talk to yourself. This might sound a little crazy, but it is one of the most effective techniques for improving your speaking skills, especially if you don't have a speaking partner. The biggest challenge in speaking is not just knowing the words, but finding them quickly in your brain and putting them together into a sentence. Talking to yourself is the perfect, no-pressure way to practice this skill. You can do it anytime, anywhere. When you are at home, you can describe what you are doing. For example, okay, now I am walking into the kitchen. I am going to make a cup of coffee. First, I need to get a mug from the cupboard. You can also talk about your day. In the evening, you can spend a few minutes telling the story of your day out loud. Today, I woke up at 7 a.m. Then I had breakfast. You can talk about your opinions on a movie you watched or your plans for the weekend. The best part is that there is no one there to judge you. You can make mistakes, you can correct yourself, you can speak slowly. You are building the speaking muscles in your brain. It helps you get used to thinking in English and forming sentences. When you finally have a chance to speak with a real person, it will feel much easier and more natural because you have already been practicing. So, to recap our 4 practical tips: set SMART goals, create an English bubble, use the 5-minute rule, and talk to yourself. These are simple actions that can make a huge difference. Conclusion: your journey, your pace. We have covered a lot today. We talked about the reasons people give up, like fear of mistakes and unrealistic expectations. And we talked about the powerful secrets of those who succeed: developing a growth mindset, finding an emotional why, making the process fun, and building a consistent daily habit. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this episode, it is this: your language learning journey is yours alone. Don't compare yourself to other people. It doesn't matter if your friend is learning faster than you. It doesn't matter if you are not fluent after 1 year. What matters is that you are making progress. What matters is that you are enjoying the journey. What matters is that you show up day after day and you keep trying. Fluency is not a destination you arrive at one day. It's a road you walk on. Some days you will walk fast, and other days you will walk slowly. Some days you might even stop for a rest. That's okay. The important thing is to just keep walking. Embrace your mistakes as your best teachers. Find joy in the process by connecting English to your passions. Be patient and be kind to yourself. You are learning an amazing and complex skill. It is a marathon, not a sprint. But with the right mindset and the right habits, I promise you, you can and you will reach your goals. And that's all of the time we have for today's episode of English with Sarah. I hope you found it helpful and inspiring. Now, I have a little homework for you. I want you to think about your why. What is your deep personal reason for learning English? Go to our website, EnglishWithSarah.com, and leave a comment telling me your story. I would absolutely love to read it. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend who is also learning English. Join me again next week, where we will be talking about a very practical topic: how to understand fast-speaking natives. It's a big challenge, and I'll give you some great techniques to improve your listening skills. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and happy learning. Goodbye!
What's the one thing to remember from today? Your journey to fluency is built on mindset and habits, not magic. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode